Hello and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's good to be here and I hope you're doing well. We are getting into some more trouble with Terracards here today, folks. Starting a new farm aptly named AB. That's right, AB. And what does AB stand for, you're probably wondering? Well, let me display that for you. So in the encyclopedia, of course, there is a pretty cool product that you can make. And it is called... let me find it here, of course. Right here, Artisan bread. That's right. So Artisan bread. Pretty cool item. I view it as unique, right? There's a lot of other stuff here, but this is a fancy type of bread here, folks. And we're going to try to make a ton of it here today. So what do we know about Artisan bread? Well, it sells for 96 gold, which is, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not like chocolate carrot cake, of course, but it's artisan bread. It's a little more simpler of a product to make, and it sells for 96 gold. It requires dough and olive oil in an ager. You get this nice looking sprite here. We like ourselves some fancy bread here, folks, on the channel. So that is what we are going to focus on today. With that being said, if you are new here to the channel, please consider becoming a subscriber. Just trying to build an awesome community of awesome people here today, folks. And it all starts with you becoming a subscriber. So if you're interested and if you like the content, please consider joining up. We'd love to have you. So, first and foremost, I mean, unsurprisingly, I went with the sunflowers, right? We do like sunflowers here on the channel. The sunflowers just give us a nice little boost. I mean, if we're going to be making artisan bread, right? We're going to need some flour, for sure. Flour comes from a mill, as you well know, and requires wheat. The sunflowers actually give a really good bonus to blue wheat, so we can actually use that to our advantage. So that will definitely become part of this build. We're going to kind of use our blue wheat to our advantage. We tend to not really mill it down into anything fancier than, just the regular blue wheat, right? But in this particular build, I think we're going to mill that. We're going to mill as much blue wheat down as we can possibly mill. And it'll serve as a wheat foundation, as well as a energy and water foundation as well. So it's going to work out real nice for us if we can just get it to work the way I have in mind, that is, of course. Fuel wheat is, of course, another option. It'll get fuel for us to power our structures. And it will also, it can also be milled as well. So, definitely a decent selection there with the fuel wheat. We'll go with it, and we can just kind of populate our main island with it as well. So, we're looking for more just regular wheat. We're looking for, obviously, the structures that we need. We're looking for a mill. We're looking for, and here's a mill. I mean, we could go with the mill right now. I need to get my water solved, though. So, what I'll do is, let's see. I'll take the mill right now. I'll do that. I'll play some more fuel wheat. And then we're just going to kind of end our turn into the next draw phase, where we're going to certainly solve the water crisis that we have. In fact, we can do that a little bit easier with the water well. Do we have any other water well? We do have one additional water well. So there is that as well. So maybe it's not quite as dire as I originally thought, but still something we have to focus on for sure. We don't get the water well in our hand, so we're going to have to roll into something. We do need a crusher, though, as well. So there is the crusher that we're going to have to, unfortunately, roll by. That'll be okay. Sunflowers, carrots, beans, regular wheat. We do get more water wells here, so this is certainly an option. Why don't we take them just kind of out of pure necessity? And what I'm hoping for here, folks, is on this next draw, let's get 2 or 3 water wells. Let's hope for it. We get 1. That'll help us stabilize, for sure. Keep us from going negative on the water, which we don't want to do. We have Weed Expansion, we have Gluttonous Feast, and we have Dionysian Rites. We're going to take Weed Expansion here for sure. I think that is a solid play, given we kind of want to build this little half diamond out in wheat. We want a ton of wheat for our mill. So let's go ahead and add another island here. This one's going to do its thing and expand, and frankly, we're just looking for more water wells in our hand right now. More sunflowers. Goodness, we are getting a lot of sunflowers here today. Some blue wheat. You love to see that. We're going to go with the blue wheat. We're going to play our water well. We're going to get our sunflower down. And our mill is going to go right here. Got plenty of fuel, so we're going to start milling up our wheat, of course. And for the blue wheat, I'm going to play it right here. I'm going to play it right here as well. Let's hope we can get a watery tree or something of the like before this blue wheat expands too rapidly. Of course, we'll find out soon. So let's see. I've got a ton of blue wheat, yeah. So we can actually just keep playing this blue wheat here. Getting a nice wheat foundation. A centrifuge. This is very much something that we need. In fact, I think the optimal way to do it, the way I have in my mind, is we're going to need 2 of these. So let's get 1. Let's secure 1 for sure. And then let's seek another one here in the next turns. Blue wheat is nice because it does not have a water cost associated with it. However, as our wheat expands, our water cost does, of course, increase. So we have to be aware of that. And we will be, certainly. So we can actually... Why don't I do this? Just to stabilize our water, for sure. I mean, we absolutely need to. And then I'm going to throw a centrifuge right here. It's not going to do much right now, but we'll get there with it. And we can see the flour does go to the centrifuge, and it's not a sellable item anymore. So that's kind of rough. I think I probably played that centrifuge perhaps a little too early. If it wasn't all bugged up, it wouldn't be an issue. So we have a silo here. This is an interesting solution. For more wheat, that is. We have 2 crushers. We definitely need a crusher. I'll secure the crusher in my hand. For sure. And I'm looking out for a watery tree for sure. We absolutely need a watery tree. And our crusher is going to go right here on this island as well. Let's see. Sunflowers. Yeah, we can play the sunflower. We've got to be careful, though. Melter, fermenter. We need all of these buildings for sure. We're going to go with the fermenter first and foremost, though. Store down another water well there. Here's a crusher. Here's a fermenter. We're going to play it on this island as well. And this will be the nice foundation that we have. I'm going to make the fermenter priority 3. This will be the nice foundation that we have for our future bread production. Fisherman's hut, mill, corn, grapes, sunflower, fuel cow, blue wheat, mill. We don't need more blue wheat. We need a water solution for sure. Let's see if we can. I mean, water wells, I guess. I don't love that, folks. I really don't love that, but it's here. Rerolling will get expensive, undoubtedly. So let's go with the water well. You bet. We'll take that and we'll just kind of skip by. In fact, what I can do is I can throw some more blue wheat here. More energy production, of course. Fuel corn, peanuts, just regular wheat. I mean, I think we're doing fine on wheat. Although, ideally, you'd fill out a few more islands of wheat here. But I do get concerned about the water cost. So let's roll by the regular wheat. We have another centrifuge. This is certainly an option. I mean, it's a necessity is what it is. So let's go ahead and grab the other centrifuge as well. We're definitely getting hooked up with the buildings that we need to pull this off. And I guess we'll just keep playing water wells as our source of water. Kind of strange for sure. Maybe we'll get a watery tree here in the future. Maybe not. We need a melter for sure. I'm going to play my other centrifuge right here. And we'll also add one further island. We get veganism here. This is going to be a very strong play for us. Tremendous that we got it so early. Great. Excellent. Excellent. You love to see that for sure. So I'll place some fuel wheat here, actually, as well. And that'll just kind of expand. Get a little bit of a boost from our water wells that we're playing sort of recklessly on our mill island there, but that's okay. Fuel wheat, fuel corn, blue wheat. Don't need it. We're getting a lot. Here's a watery tree. Just sent from heaven, I tell ya. Alright, so for our watery tree, why don't we get it right here? Let's get it there first and foremost. And I believe we have one additional remaining, so we're definitely going to secure that. Get it down on the island, and then get the rest of our blue wheat on that island as well. Another centrifuge. Man, the game's just hooking up the centrifuge today for sure. More blue wheat. More watery trees. Water tanks. This is also interesting. I do like the play of the water tank here. I think our watery tree will be good with just 2. That might be famous last words, of course, folks. I'm going to grab the water tank. The water tank does, of course, give water. And in playing it there with the sunflowers in place, we get a nice water boost for sure. Electric carrots, melter, lake. More sunflowers. Even more sunflowers. Goodness gracious. We have a lot of sunflowers here today. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? So what I want to do here is I want to get... Let's get a water tank. Let's get 2 water tanks here. And you'll see my play there in just a bit once we get the right card to combine on that island. I mean, plenty of sunflowers and plenty of wheats. The draws we've been getting in this one is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Olive trees, here we go. That's what I was looking for, some olive trees. It's hard to make artisan bread without olive oil, folks, and we have secured some olives to play on our water tank island here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play, and it's going to get just monstrous production, especially with the veganism, right? Just tremendous. That's why we need veganism for sure for this build. I obviously want to maximize as much as humanly possible. More water tanks, you bet. We're all over those. We'll add another island as well and keep playing our olive trees. I'm going to hold on to those water tanks though, I think. Because there's going to be a play with the sugarcane here too. So let's see. Let's try to get an idea of what exactly is going on here. So we're making olive oil in 2 spots here. Let's make that centrifuge priority 3. Keep this priority 1. I have the melter down here so we don't make tortillas. I know. It's unfortunate. Making a solid 10k in olive oil so far. That's going to turn into some nice bread of the future, folks. Alright, barn, fuel corn. Another centrifuge, goodness. Corn, crab, watery tree. Yeah, let's grab it. It's usually wise to grab the watery tree that is before you, folks. And why don't we go ahead and... I mean, we can install... I guess you don't really install an island, right? Yeah, you install like a light switch. You don't install an island. So that is not the proper term to use, but I think you know what I mean. Let's throw it right there. Beans, barn, silo. Yeah, we'll go with the silo for sure. Popcorn buff, dealer's hand, the miracle. We're going to go with dealer's hand here. Another tempting one was, of course, the miracle, but I think we'll be okay without that. I'll throw my silo right here. It's going to just boost extremely our water production and also get us more flour. So you'll love to see that. We're just going to keep on keeping on here, folks. Looking for more olives, looking for some sugarcane as well. I guess we get more sunflowers, right? So let's take more sunflowers. That's completely fine. It's acceptable. And we have space for them already. I want to see how strong this build could actually be, right? Like, can you get... here's a giant sheep. Check out my last video on that. It's kind of mid. Not really sure how I feel about the giant sheep, if I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, more sunflowers, goodness gracious. This game is hooking up the sunflowers right now. I don't know that I would call sunflowers a rare card, per se, but it's not as common as some of the other ones that you tend to get in the game. So it's interesting that we're seeing so many sunflowers. Blue wheat. Yeah, sure. We'll grab some blue wheat, and the play I'm going to make with this blue wheat is not necessarily to boost energy production. I mean, we're doing great on that. But what I'll do is I can actually fill out these islands here with it. To simply maximize, right? So we're going to stick with veganism here, and I'm just going to maximize this island here. So now we have this nice diamond shape for our mill to just process all of these wheat plants into flour. And we're obviously going to recognize that happening here across the next few turns, getting just great production because of the veganism. So you love to see that. Everything's working nicely for us. We just need some sugar cane to start making some dough. So let's see if we can't lock in some sugar cane without re-rolling the bank. Here's an ager. We absolutely need that. That is a good one to get as well. And our ager needs to go on the island with our fermenter. So we'll get that in place as well. Keep playing our blue wheat just to get it out of our hand, and wheat expansion does its thing. That's quite alright. So we can start another island here of the blue wheat. More watery trees. Goodness, game. I just don't need it. I just don't need it. What I need is some sugar cane. And we get some sugar cane here alongside of the giant sunflower, which would be another strong play here. But we can't make fancy bread without some sugar. Alright, so what are we going to do with our sugar cane? So first and foremost, our sugar cane needs to be juiced, and then it needs to be melted. So I'm going to juice it on this island here. Right? Juice it on this island here. It's going to melt, and then it's going to be processed in the centrifuge right here. And then that raw sugar will then, in turn, kick up to the fermenter to start making dough. So the first island we're going to set up for our sugarcane is right here. We'll throw a water tank down. And this is actually a very strong island for our sugarcane because it's surrounded by structures. It gets massive production, making sugar troubles a thing of the past, for sure. 144 from one single sugarcane plant. You love to see that, folks. You just love to see it. There's no other way to express it other than you just love to see it. You also love to see more sugarcane when you're in need, for sure. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add another water tank island right here, for sure. And I'm going to fill both of these islands up with sugarcane. And we'll be making some bread here real soon, folks. We just got to get there. Got to get that juicer. Home sweet home, bright corn, and flush. None of these will really do us any good. Suppose we could go bright corn. I mean, home sweet home, we're not going animals because we don't want to lose veganism. Centrifuge silo. Yeah, we could use some more silos. You bet. Looking for a juicer, though. So let's go ahead and throw a silo right here. We'll also throw one right there as well. I was kind of thinking flush, but it just, you know, it's just kind of one of those mid things for this build, I suppose. Here's a juicer. Fantastic. You love to see that, folks. You just love to get exactly what you need. So here we go. Our chain is taking place, and we have created some artisan bread. Let's check it out. We've created 628 units of artisan bread for $60,000. Now, how do we maximize? Let's let a few turns go by and sort of analyze what we're being shorted on. It's probably the olives, to be honest. So let's see if we can't secure a few more olive trees without breaking the bank, of course. Guess we'll go with more sunflowers. Sure, why not? All right. So one of the reasons I wanted to kind of play around with this build, because artisan bread, it's one of the more unique products, I think, in the game, right? It's kind of like its standalone thing. Interesting that it's in the game and not, say, something else that's a little more basic or a little more well-known with a farm, right? So that's interesting to me, but I don't know. It's cool sprite. It sells pretty good. It's relatively easy to make, and more importantly, it doesn't need an oven, right? So the oven has given me trouble in the past, if you've seen some of my other runs, and it's just troubling to me that some of your products seem to get lost in the oven. As I'm kind of observing this here, it does look like some of our stuff is getting lost in this crusher here. So let's take a look. All right, yeah, good. I think we were able to avoid that. Let's grab some corn, sure. Just good, chill vibes here today, folks. It is Sunday. I hope your Sunday's going well. Hope you did something fun today. 78k in artisan bread so far. That's tremendous. Yeah, I hope you did something fun today. Me personally, I hung out with some friends, had a little Sunday fun day action. Went and got some brunch. Watched some NFL. I don't know if anybody's a fan of the NFL, National Football League. So check that out a little bit. Just had a good chill day, you know? A good chill day. How about you? What do you do for a Sunday fun day? Do anything fun. Perhaps you find your local fancy bread place and you go and you get yourself some bread. Maybe you put a little olive oil and Parmesan cheese with that bread. What is your ideal version of a Sunday fun day? For me, currently where I'm at, it is winter, so it's cold out. Obviously, it's snowy, all that good stuff, all the lovely things that winter brings with it. But let's say it was a nice, hot summer day, folks. I am all about patio season, right? I'm all about just hanging out outside in the sun. I love that. It's a great vibe. Every now and then, I'll go kayaking, hiking in nature. Another fun thing to do when the weather's nice. All acceptable things for a Sunday fun day for sure. Where I'm at, there's a lot of breweries around here, so, you know, kind of go brewery hopping. That's always a fun time as well. And just in general, right? Just in general, have kind of an explorational vibe. That's how I like to spend my Sundays for sure. Grabbing some transport tubes here. I think there's a way to sort of extend. So Energy Spring kills us right here. Let's go Elite Cows because I like the graphic. Suppose it could have gone popcorn, but whatever. So yeah, transport tubes. So what I'm thinking with this, if we can get enough olive trees, I can throw one here. I can put olive trees here and here. I do think we are lagging behind with the olives. So if we can just make more olive oil, I think we can get more artisan bread. So let's keep our eyes peeled for some more olive oil for sure. Without re-rolling the entire lot away. We don't want to do that. I guess I'll grab beans. It's kind of... It's not very inspirational. We'll put it that way. And I'm a little sketchy about the transport tubes as well. In concept, it's a great idea, but it's a little sketchy. The reason I say that is I don't know that I necessarily trust the priority of the structures, right? I think that still needs to be kind of worked on in this game. So we're going to play our beans. We'll just call this a trash island. I'll throw a fence there because I just don't want to look at it. Probably keep the fermenter just in case. Maybe we can set up something else, although we don't really need to. Another water tank, you bet. We'll take that. We're all over that. Making just a nice, and more importantly, consistent amount of artisan bread. That's what I'm looking for in this one, folks. Consistency, right? There's nothing like some of my previous runs here where, you know, one turn we're making X amount of this, and the next turn we're making, you know, half of that or double that, right? It shouldn't be inconsistent. And this particular build, it isn't. So that's another reason I was interested in doing this. Like I said, the building sequence that you need to put in place, right? The build that you need to put in place to actually make artisan bread does not require an oven, which I like quite a bit because I don't trust the oven. Just like I don't trust black water, the essence reward. And it's just an interesting product to make in my mind. So here we are. So let's keep playing the corn as well. Definitely don't want to play an animal because that will sacrifice our veganism buff, which is a very strong buff. Very, very good with this build. Just boost our production through the roof. We need more olive trees though. So let's go. Let's get some more olive trees here, game. Come on. In fact, yeah, I mean, only 6 olives. Well, 6 olive trees, I should say. They are producing very mightily, but it's definitely what's holding us back. So let's get some more olives. We have a nice little spot for them right here. Making plenty of flour, too, I must admit. Another good spot for our other silo here, so we'll grab that. And, you know, just double our water. No big deal. Throw another silo right here, too. One commenter, believe it was in my giant sheep video, they were asking about the feasibility of just maximizing water and then using the miracle essence reward as kind of a carry, right? So you get that essence reward buff that turns your excess water into production, right? So that's kind of like going mass energy and then giant sunflower or fuel grapes and, you know, maxing out your fuel. Would definitely be an interesting challenge run. Maybe not a challenge run, but an interesting thing to try on the channel here. So I'm thinking about that a little more for sure. I think it would be interesting to attempt. So maybe we'll do that here in the future as well. Because you can really maximize water. I mean, look at the success we're having with 2 sunflower islands, blue wheat, and 3 watery trees. You just max it out with silos and you get a pretty monstrous result for sure. So 4 water tanks. I'll play one there just to kind of will. We're getting more water tanks. Goodness gracious. Going wide, Peanut Fest, and Black Water. I mean, do we like transition into soy here? I don't love it. But we have so many water tanks. Nah. I don't feel like going soy. This is an artisan bread run, folks. We're not doing soy. We've already done that. I did a video on that some time ago. I concluded that it's just not very good. Very water intensive. Doesn't really make you much money. And I love to see consistent production from our money item, for sure. So we just need to maximize. We need more olive trees, for sure. More sugar cane. We'll take some more sugar cane. You bet. So a great play with the sugar cane is, of course, the sugar cane island that we have here. And then we can also start adding them on this island here. Melter cocoa tree. Don't need the cocoa tree. But I also have to be really careful about re-rolling. I mean, 814k to re-roll. No thank you. Suppose we can go with the centrifuge. Don't love that. But I feel like we just don't really have an option. So I'll play a water tank here because olive trees are going to be very scarce. In fact, we might see like one more stack of them through the rest of this playthrough. We'll certainly see. I mean, if we go 3 water tanks here, it will give us spot for 4 olive trees. That will give us room for 7. I think I'm going to hold on to this water tank for now. We get the cross. This will double our wheat. You bet we're all over that. Especially in the face of a very costly reroll. So let's put the cross at the points of our civilization here. And this also doubles our water, of course. So if we think about that water miracle run, right? This is obviously a way to unlock even more water production. Doubling the 36 because it doubles your wheat production. That's also going to send our flour to the moon as well. We have a bunch of dough that's just not being processed. We want to get that processed, and we need more olive oil to do it. So hopefully the game can be generous here and just hook a brother up. Let's see, more sugarcane, sure. We'll take some more sugarcane. Not concerned about sugar production at all. Hey, here we go. I don't know what happened, folks, but 1640, we've effectively doubled our artisan bread production. That's tremendous. Making 157k off artisan bread. Pretty simple build right here, right? Just max out on wheat. I mean, was it the sugar that was holding us back? I mean, obviously, since I started playing sugarcane, right? And now we're getting 820. So this is what I mean with consistency, right? We're losing consistency here. And that's just a head-scratching thing about this game. It truly is. Another water tank. How about olive tree? Blue wheat. Ager. Guess I'll go transport tube. Don't love that either. Now we're back to 820. So I don't know what happened to our production of the artisan bread. But we appeared to have doubled it. Because it was exactly 1640. So I don't know if that's a glitch as well. I don't necessarily trust the production numbers. We're making 10,000 excess units of flour. So yeah, it's definitely the olives that are holding us back. So let's get some olives. Let's go, game. What do you say? I want to get some olives without re-rolling. Ugh. Apples. Sure, we'll grab some apples. Let's just throw them right here. That looks like a fine spot for an apple tree, if I don't say so myself. Paste bloom, Blackwater going wide. Paste bloom will actually be beneficial to us here for sure. Given the presence of our sunflower friends. Corn. The re-rolling is getting costly. Electric carrot. Let's go electric carrot because I literally never go electric carrot. I'm going to take advantage to try to play just some of these cards that have just been sitting in my hand. Electric carrot does work with the Easter Bunny now, though, so keep that in mind. Might be a solution. I'd like to do an Easter Bunny build with kind of the newfound Easter Bunny, right? Seen some comments on the Discord that the Easter Bunny has been ruined by the update. I don't know that I would say it's ruined. It's more niche now, though, for sure. Like, you absolutely have to have carrots. And if you don't have carrots, then you're not going to get any benefit out of the Easter Bunny at all. I think they needed to do something with the Easter Bunny for sure. So, in my mind, it makes sense. It might not be the loveliest thing for sure. But it makes sense. I think you kind of had to do something with it, right? Pastor Gnome Black Sheep. Bio Generator. Sure, we'll go with the biogenerator. Very uninspiring stuff here, folks. When you're just simply not getting what you need. This would be a pretty strong place for a biogenerator. So would right here, but if we ever get olive trees, right? So let's go right here with it. Look at this. That is insane. That is just one siloed up island of blue wheat with 2 sunflowers and veganism. And the cross. Insane. Alright, fuel wheat, silo. Man, it'd be great if I could just get some olives, huh? Alright, I'm done re-rolling for sure. That was a real costly sequence of turns. Might as well just double our fuel again. Juicer, mixer, chicken. Guess we'll go juicer. Don't love that either. Let's make some apple juice, folks. Everybody loves a nice, refreshing glass of apple juice. So let's get it. Grapes. I guess we'll take grapes. Uninspiring stuff here, folks, for sure. But what is a guy to do when you just don't have enough olive oil? Some would say, make your own olive oil. Well, I am trying. More sunflowers at day 160. Really? That's interesting. I thought kind of at some point you just stop getting sunflowers. I don't know how the game determines what it actually gives you. But at 814k for a draw, it's just not worth it. Alright, so we have the miracle here. I mean, field grapes would be strong too. They of course changed it. Fuel cost is 90 times the amount of grapes in the farm. So keep that in mind. The way I think about field grapes is you just want less overall grape plants, right? But we're going to go with the miracle. Because we have an excellent surplus of water. And we're going to capitalize on that. So we will recognize an immediate boost. Don't really have a great place for more sunflowers. That's okay. Let's just throw it. Let's throw it right here. Sure. Wolf, alpha wolf. Cocoa tree. This takes the melter. Crusher, centrifuge, mill. Melter, can go up to the crusher, centrifuge, mill. Yeah, sure, let's take some cocoa trees. Why not? We're not getting the olive tree, so might as well transition into cocoa. So why don't we go ahead and add a cocoa tree right here and right here. Let's hope it skips over this. We'll see. Boom. Okay. Roasted cocoa beans. Okay. So if it can make it up to this centrifuge here, it can actually be processed further. Doesn't really matter though, folks. We're not trying to make any chocolates. We're trying to make bread. And fancy bread at that. More crepes. Just basic wheat. Man, they are just hooking up everything but the olive tree, aren't they? Yikes. We'll go with an antenna because it's completely non-invasive, for sure. When I say that, I mean it's not going to be sitting in my hand for the rest of the game. Might as well give a little buff to our sugarcane. And let's travel back up here to the top. Get some more sunflower action on the field. Olive tree, here we go. Alright, this is tremendous. You love to see this. Sometimes the game just throws you a bone, folks. And it wakes you up. And here we are, awakened. Alright, olive trees, here we go. So we grabbed a stack of 10. So what I want to do is I want to make notes. We have 820 units of artisan bread. Okay? $820. So in adding just 3 more olive trees, let's see what that does for our production. 1508. So 3, right? So that's tremendous. It is now carrying us as the most lucrative item that we're selling here on our fine farm. Making a ton of dough as well. So let's add some more. This is why I kind of set it up this way. $2,016. Here we go. We are taking this into orbit now, folks. 200k in just artisan bread. You love to see that. Absolutely. And I think the question quickly becomes... Alright, so what I want to do is I want to throw a transport tube right here. No, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off until I get another olive tree in my hand. Because I could see the transport tube taking the sugar cane. You know, something goofy happening for sure. I want to recognize the fun that we're having right now. And the massive production that we have of our artisan bread. Making nearly $250,000 per turn in fancy bread here, folks. And you'll love to see this. Not quite sure why it's selling for 350k, but it's only worth 240k. Not sure about that, but we actually did sell it for more. Another goofy thing happening for sure. All kinds of goofy things happening here. I guess let's take a melter. You bet. And how we doing? 241k. It's almost like it's... the value is misrepresented. So 241 to 536. So 480 minus 241. It should be... there should be exactly... well, not exactly, but about 240,000 left after I sell this. Yeah, 238. Okay, it looks like it's calculating properly. I just don't know sometimes, folks. I'm sure you're right there with me as it relates to the head-scratching occurrences that sometimes happen in the wonderful, enjoyable game of Terracards. Unless we're just playing without a focus here, folks. I feel like every time we fire up the old YouTube machine and start making videos on Terracards with the build in mind, it's always an experiment, right? A watery tree at the ripe day of 180. Goodness. Don't know that I've seen that before. Chocolate addiction, black water, flush. I mean, this is one of the few times I actually will go black water because we don't have any animals and there's nothing for me to distrust about it. So you'll love to see that for sure. We'll do that. We'll make that happen. Could still use a few more olives because we're doing great on dough. Like, we still have enough dough. In fact, we have plenty of dough. Yeah, another 500 units of dough. So if we can manage to get some more olive oil, we can even boost our production more. It's all on will the game give it to us or not. You know, what was that? 5,000? Yeah, 5,088 water. No big deal. Fuel, peanuts, soy. Solar panel. Let's do solar panel. There's something cool I want to do with the solar panel. If I can get it in my hand, that is. 2,500 units of artisan bread. If the game was a little more generous with the olive tree, we'd be sitting real pretty right now, folks. But it's a fun item to make. So if you put a solar panel next to your sunflower, you're probably like, no, don't do that because that's going to kill the sunflower's production. You're absolutely right, it will. However, it turns them into electric sunflowers, which produce energy for you. So instead of your blue wheat producing energy, now you have sunflowers that are producing energy. So that's pretty cool, and I really do like that sprite. It's a really cool sprite. Really awesome looking. Huge fan, for sure. This corn gets pretty mighty, doesn't it? Easter bunny, scarecrow, cow. Scarecrow, I guess we can take the scarecrow. Let's pay the tax man, and let's take this thing to day 200 here, folks. Would be lovely. Can I get another stack of olive trees just, you know, before endgame here? Don't worry, I'm not going to play the Easter Bunny. But the Easter Bunny has been nerfed, as I've already kind of covered. What are your thoughts on the Easter Bunny being nerfed? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? I think it really limits the power of the Easter Bunny, but personally, I think the Easter Bunny was too powerful. Just doesn't quite look like we're going to get what we need here, folks. Just doesn't quite look like it, huh? I mean, foundationally, I've got everything in place to just add in more olive trees. Could add in an entire other island of them right here with the transport tube here. And then the production from this island would go to here and then to here where we need it to go. We have a water tank to help prop it up. I mean, we have everything we need to really kind of go max on the olives, but it's just not happening, is it? That's all right. More water tanks. This game has been incredibly generous with the water tank here today. Definitely not complaining. Love me the water tank. Definitely love me the water tank. All right, let's pay the tax man and let's take this across the finish line to day 200. Let's see what field grapes does. All right, so it does limit us a little bit, and then we get pretty monstrous production. Yeah, look at this. So field grapes is still very, very strong. It just costs a lot of fuel now, but that's one island, folks. We've got a couple of biogennies down here, of course, but that is just one island, and it will easily become our most profitable crop here. Let's just end our turn once here and take a look. Yeah, $5 million in grapes. So field grapes is still very strong. Just FYI, in case you didn't catch that, Even with the essence reward being a bit nerfed, it's still very, very strong. This is your proof right here, folks. But anyways, that is our build with Artisan Bread. Let me actually end my turn one more time so we can get the final inventory here. That is our build with Artisan Bread. Managed to create 2,516 units per turn. About $250,000. More olive trees is just going to equal more Artisan Bread. We're making plenty of flour. I think the sugar was spot on, especially with the strong production of the sugar cane. Just needed a few more olive trees. Sometimes you just don't get exactly what you need. But I figured this would be a fun build to do because I like the Artisan Bread. I think it's a fun product to make. It's a little unorthodox. It does use the ager, right? We don't often use the ager here on the channel, so it's fun to use structures that you haven't really used before. And it's fun to use structures that, you know, don't involve the oven because I just don't trust the oven. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to get out of here. This is the farm. Fun little build for sure. Definitely interested in the Miracle and just maxing water and seeing what the Miracle can do for us. Field grapes are still strong. The cross is quite overpowered as well, with really any build that involves wheat or grapes for that matter. And yeah, this is the little power chain right here. Little power island block right here. So with that said, folks, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much for your viewership. I really do appreciate you. Appreciate this community. If you enjoy the content and you're not subscribed, please consider becoming a subscriber. I'd love to have you as a part of the community. And I'm getting out of here. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.